Nobody went to the Texas State Fair. Nobody. Okay, I've lived in Texas for 50 fucking years. No, this has never, ever happened, ever. Remember when Big Tex burnt down to the ground? I do, and then they had to get a new Big Tex, and next year it was a whole big production because we had a new Big Tex. I do. Okay, there are videos floating around of the state fair, of the Texas State Fair, and it is so fucking empty, it looks like the park hasn't opened yet. I'm in shock. I read some of the comments. One guy goes, yeah, $24 for a turkey leg. Not done. No, not gonna do it. $24 for a goddamn turkey leg? Seriously? And the state fair people said, sure, $24 for a turkey leg. Sounds on point. Wow. The other comments were, everybody's fucking broke. Nobody can afford to do anything. No one can afford to go spend, a weekend with their family at the state fair anymore. The state fair was supposed to be the place that you could take kids to on the weekend. Nobody can afford it anymore. And then half of the comments say, it's Texas. We all look a certain way. We don't want icy conditions on our weekend getaway. And then about, the other half of the comments are talking about, random pew-pewings and how Texas does nothing to stop them. And so we will no longer be going to any public venue thing like that.
People are saying the State Fair of Texas looks abnormally empty this year, and the reactions are all over the internet. Why is this happening? What are the folks saying? And what might it mean for the fair and for fun traditions in tough economic time? Let's dig in.
Currently, almost no one went to the Texas State Fair this year. Let me tell you, Texas is the number one most distressed state in people in the United States right now. The people in Texas are the number one distressed financially right now. Number two is Florida. Florida is number two, where the people are struggling worse than any other state. Number one, Texas, the red state. Number two, Florida, the red state. Yes, they both voted for Donald Trump. This is a little bit of an FAFO, but this is a sure sign that not only is a recession coming and is already in about 22 states, according to Moody's top economist. I'm going to say it. We are about to experience our first self-inflicted depression. Self-inflicted. Please get your finances in order. Please call your elected officials.
Everybody vote. They say the Texas State Fair, the world's biggest state fair, is empty. And that state fair holds millions of people every single year. That's like my favorite thing to do since I've been living in Texas. Everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Have you heard about the Texas State Fair and how empty it was recently? For those of you who don't know, the Texas State Fair that's held in Dallas is a big deal every year. And there are those out there who believe that as that state fair goes, it really tells you about the state of the economy and where things are across the country, not just in Texas. So I wanted to share with you something that recently came out about the state fair. So here's what happened. A Dallas content creator named Jared Gines went to the State Fair of Texas this year, and he noticed something strange. The crowd's practically gone. He said he could walk right up to Big Tex for photos. Big Tex is this giant statue of a man, I believe wearing a cowboy hat and boots, that's a staple at the state fair. and everybody loves to get photos in front of it. And he said he could walk right up to Big Tex for photos. No lines, no crowd, something he's never seen in decades of going to the Texas State Fair. He posted about it, and the internet lit up with thousands of comments from people saying the exact same thing. They just can't afford to go this year. We're talking $150 to $350 for a family of 4 once you add in tickets, food, rides, and parking. People are saying they're having to choose between paying rent and taking their kids to the fair. Now, the fair's PR team says, hey, inflation is real. Vendors set their own prices, and they say we're not immune to the economy. And they're right. Everything costs more. Food, housing, even fun. But here's the deeper truth. When families can't afford a funnel cake, it's not just about the fair anymore. It's a mirror of the economy. Wages aren't keeping up, the job market's cooling off, layoffs are creeping in again, and even people with jobs feel broke because every dollar gets eaten up before every payday. So the fair is just one snapshot of a bigger picture. People are cutting back on the little joys because the basics cost too much. And when that happens, it's not a spending problem, it's a stability problem. Because when people have to skip community traditions just to keep the lights on, that tells you everything about where we are as a country right now. So if you're feeling this squeeze, you're not imagining it. This is just inflation. It's the reality of an economy where the average worker is hustling harder and getting less in return. The real question is, what happens when the middle class can't even afford to feel middle class anymore? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're trying to navigate this shifting job market, I've included the link to my full interview training course in my bio if you need help landing that job. And follow me for more real-world insights on jobs, hiring, and the economy.
So I've been seeing a lot of people making videos about the Texas State Fair or State Fair of Texas being empty. And that is very unusual because even during the week, the Texas State Fair or State Fair of Texas is usually busy throughout the week. But for some reason, it is not. Now, I did go to the State Fair of Texas when the weekend of Grambling and Prairie View, which was last weekend, and it was packed. It was not empty at all. That was on a Saturday. But I would probably say one reason why the State Fair may not be as busy as it normally is because it is expensive. I mean, it's very expensive. And I heard also that they used to give out these free tickets to the students so that they could go to the fair, and they no longer give students those tickets anymore. So just think, if you got 5 kids in school and they were getting free tickets in order to, so that you don't have to pay that fee for them to get into the fair, but they're no longer giving them that ticket, it could really add up. And then on top of that, if you're parking in the fair parking is $30. So that's a lot right there. So $30. And then again, if you have multiple kids, that adds up. And then on top of that, the food items are so expensive. And I know when you have kids, they want to ride. So that's, another expense. So that really adds up. And when you think about the state of the economy right now, especially with food prices being so expensive, it does not make sense to try to fit that into your budget. And I wouldn't, if I had to, if I had, multiple kids, I would definitely miss out on the fair. I mean, it's not, necessary, of course. I mean, it is necessary for you to eat, but definitely not necessary to go to the fair because, again, the food items at the fair are really expensive. I usually get like a corny dog. I did not get a corny dog this year, but some of the items that I got, the most expensive item that I bought at the fair this year was like $22. And it was not worth $22. And what it was a funnel cake. It was supposed to be a funnel cake with chopped beef on it. And I just wanted to try one new item, and it ended up not being that great. So that was a waste of $22. And then just say that was $22. And then I had already paid $30 for parking. So again, it adds up. So I'm sure that is definitely one reason why people are choosing to skip out on the fair this year. It's expensive.
Have you, like me, seen a lot of TikToks about how the Texas State Fair is empty as fuck this year? Tumbleweeds blowing right through. People that have been there all day and saying it's been dead. Which is strange to me because you think with all the money Trump is sending his supporters right now, remember he was going to send everybody $10,000 checks. And don't forget, Elon Musk was going to send you a Doge check too. How come you haven't taken those checks to the Texas State Fair? Where are all the billionaires we gave massive tax cuts to over and over and over again? How come they're not coming to spend their money at the Texas State Fair? You see, everything's bigger in Texas, especially Empty storage for brain capacity. Lack of empathy is huge there. The inability to see that lots and lots of laborers, immigrants come to the state fair with their families to spend their money. They don't give a fuck, they're gone. And all their fat National Guardsmen up in Chicago. So they can't even chow down on the deep fried corn dogs and the deep fried Twinkies and the deep fried sense of remorse and regret. Wait, they don't have that in Texas. No big portions of remorse. Clogged arteries, bigotry, and empty fairs. Oh, tumbleweeds flow, and then they'll blow through the fairs of Texas.
The State Fair of Texas happens every year in Dallas, one of the biggest, oldest fair in the U.S. It's known for its food, especially fried everything, the carnival rides, and of course, Big Tex, the 55-foot cowboy statue that greets everyone at the gate. But this year, every visitor noticed something strange. The crowd weren't there. Videos on TikTok and Reddit shows nearly empty parking lots, quiet rides, and vendors saying business has been slow than usual. And soon, those videos spread fast, leading everyone to believe that fair has lost its magic. Social media went wild with opinion. People complained about turkey legs being expensive, and others said how expensive it was to be in the state fair. Some people made jokes saying that fair is empty because everyone's still paying off for their last year trip, and people genuinely say were complaining of how expensive it was. Meanwhile, the vendors started speaking out too. Some said their profits were down, and others mentioned that even on weekends, crowds weren't what they used to be. Still, fair official insisted attendance was normal for this stage, reminding everyone that early days are often slower and crowds build up later. Talk about money because that's at the heart of most people's reaction. They were saying that right now everything costs more. Admission alone is about $15 to $25 per adult. Parking is around $30. A meal for our family for four, including turkey legs, corn dogs, drinks, can easily hit $150 to $300 in one day. That's before you even you talk about rides, souvenirs, and games. So many Texans online are saying we love the fair, but it's just not affordable anymore. And inflation has pushed people to prioritize essentials, groceries, fuel, rent over entertainment. And when fun becomes financially stressed, people simply stay home. This isn't just about Texas Fair. It's a bigger reflection of what families across America are facing right now. Here's another layer: perception. Sometimes social media can exaggerate. When one or two videos of empty spaces go viral, they paint a picture that might not tell the full story, because the fair officials have pointed out that some viral clips were taken on weekdays or during morning hours when the gate had just opened. Still, even when that has been said, the vendors themselves have confirmed slower business. So maybe it's partly perception, partly reality. And still, local Dallas residents are split. Some people are saying This is the first year I actually enjoyed the fair because it wasn't overcrowded, but other people are disappointed. Older Texans remember when the fair was packed every weekend and say it's sad to see tradition fading, and yet there are young people who see it differently. They say maybe it's time for the fair to modernize, lower prices, and focus more on local communities events instead of flashy, high cost attentions. And the Texas State isn't just an event, it's part of Southern culture. For decades, it's been where families go to make memories, where high school brands perform, where small businesses sell local foods, and where different communities gather. So, when the fairgrounds look empty, it hits people's emotionally. It feels like a piece of culture splitting away. Some commentaries even tie this to generational shift, saying Gen Z and younger millennials prefer digital or travel experience over traditional fairs. They would rather spend that $200 on a concert, a weekend trip, or even a few online subscription than one day outing. If this trend continues, what happens next? Events like the Texas State Fair really heavily on attendance to fund staff, security, and attractions. Lower attendance could lead to few vendors returning next year, smaller rides and attractions, and even higher price to cover losses, which might make things worse. It's a cycle. Few people, higher prices, even fewer people, and but it's not all bad news. Some fairs are adapting, adding deposit days, free kids zone, and local music shows to attract new audience. Maybe it's empty. This empty fair moment will push organizations to rethink how to make big events more inclusive and affordable again. So, what are people really saying through their reactions? It's not just the fair. It's not just the fair is empty. It's we want value for our money. We miss traditions, but we can't overspend. We love community events, but they must fix our new reality. People's reactions reveal a deeper truth that Americans' entertainment culture is shifting. Where we are in a time where meaningful experience matter more than expensive ones. Families are saying no to overpriced outings and yes to smarter spending. So yes, maybe the Texas State Fair looks empty this year, but maybe that's not the end. Maybe it's a sign to change. A change for organizations to listen to people's voice, for prices to be fair again, and for the tradition to reconnect with the community that built it. What do you think? Is the Texas State Fair losing its magic or just evolving with the times? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video for more people, so more people can join our discussion. Thank you for watching, and let's meet on the next video. Thank you.